There's a recent rumor from a very reliable Xbox or Microsoft insider, Jez Corden, which is suggesting that the future of Xbox is going to be radically different and in a lot of ways going to confirm what I've assumed Microsoft has been doing in terms of the Xbox ecosystem and the logical evolution to how they're going to move ahead with Game Pass. So I'm going to go over what this means for Microsoft and Xbox and ultimately the future of this console or console gaming in general. So let's take a look. The recent rumor that's been sparked by Jez Corden, who's the executive editor for Windows Central, has basically suggested the next Xbox isn't going to be a traditional console. And this is something that I myself have talked about in a lot of my different videos on Game Pass and Microsoft strategy moving forward. And I want to highlight that Jez Corden is not just some random guy who's saying some stuff on the internet. He accurately released a lot of the information about the Series S when that was in its infancy and has produced a lot of great content on Xbox in general before it's really hit the masses. So this isn't someone who isn't familiar with the Microsoft ecosystem or someone who doesn't have some sort of insider information. But what he highlights is that the new Xbox is essentially going to be just a gaming PC, but made more friendly for the consumer end. And I think in a lot of ways, what you're going to see this as is essentially just more of the same with what you currently have on your Xbox, but it's going to be something that we can upgrade and customize, which is exactly what I've been open to and really hoping that we were going to see happening in the near future with console gaming. Because if you look at the strategy of Game Pass is being designed for almost everything. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your tablet, you can use it on your Windows PC, your MacBook, you can use it on pretty much anything that plays games. And my whole belief with the Xbox currently is this is the cheapest way for a consumer to play those games and play them pretty well. The only downside is if you want a better version of those games with better graphics, you are stuck not being able to upgrade this console. And it makes the most logical sense that Microsoft is essentially removing the barriers on where their games can be played and basically making it preference. And I believe the Xbox brand, based off of what Jez has stated, is essentially evolving into a streaming style, Netflix style service with your option to play on every and anything. And the new Xbox console will essentially just be one of those options for consumers to get their feet wet in the Xbox ecosystem or the Microsoft ecosystem at this point. So in other words, I believe the future of Xbox is going to be essentially very flexible, very freeform, and it's not going to be confined to a set-top Xbox Series level console, but instead you're going to be able to get a gaming PC from Microsoft, almost like how Steam did with their Steam machines, where they basically released a handful of them and let you choose how you're going to run Steam, whether that's on your computer, whether that's on now your Steam Deck, or whatever else you'd like to use it on. And I don't think this is a bad play for Microsoft, because they're taking the Netflix style subscription service and evolving it for the masses to allow multiple people to play the way that they want to, and still being able to give them the option of using one of the best controllers and using their using their hardware with the new Xbox, but something that's going to be essentially, as Jez says, a set-top TV, essentially TV friendly device for people to use. My apologies, I'm quoted that a little wrong, but basically something that's going to be consumer friendly but also appeal to all different demographics of gamers, I think is a fantastic idea and something that I'm open to as a die-hard Xbox fan.